We're also going to be having Chiron moving into Taurus on the 19th of June. We also have Jupiter moving into Leo on the 29th with the Capricorn full moon and Mercury retrograde. So we have some spicy energy coming up, but Jupiter in Leo, that's going to be some incredible astrology to be seen.
Dear Miss Craft, this is a transmission from the seventh dimension. I'm Camille Craft, and about 3.5 years ago, I made a decision to use the eclipse portals to quantum leap. I'm going to show you on this podcast how to specifically create revenue, money, impact, change, and visibility using the power within you. It is through the astrological impact of astrology that I've been able to create a 7-figure brand, go completely viral, reach 200K months with consistent ritual. And I'm going to break down specifically how you are going to do that in your life without having to sacrifice more time, your identity, and your life purpose. So if you're ready to master making money but need to find your life purpose, this is for you.
The week of June 8th holds a very powerful day in the realms of wealth astrology. On Tuesday, June 9th, we have Venus, the planet of love and money, moving into a conjunction with the planet of expansion and opportunity. And I want you to think about, before we go into and dive into specifically what this week holds for you and how to work with it, I want you to just do a little reflection with me about a year ago. A year ago, sometime in June, you might have made a pivot, had a realization, had something happen sometime around this time. And, maybe it was at the end of June, whatever it was, is that typically when we are working with Jupiter cycles, Jupiter tours and it transits through each sign for an entire 12 months, we are coming to the culmination of what it initiated in your chart. So depending on where Cancer rules in your chart, this particular area got a full glow up. And if you want to look to what next is on the docket for you, I would look into a little homework as to where Leo rules in your chart. It'll be the house right after. And so ultimately, when Jupiter is moving through a particular area of our chart, Jupiter just expands. It might expand subconscious beliefs. It might expand your gifts. It might expand your money. It might expand your opportunities. It might expand your visibility. It really just depends on what your rising sign is. So this week on June 9th, we have this conjunction, and it's one of the most auspicious and powerful conjunctions for you to create wealth, but it's not going to be from you doing something. It's from the level in which you allow for yourself to receive. So I believe it was a couple episodes ago that I did an episode about receiving, right? And how that's one of the number one wealth blocks that I see in women or high level women or any women actually. And anyone who creates a high level of wealth, we get to a certain point and then the identity that built that wealth or success or structure or whatever it was starts to feel more like a cage than it does something that you can spread your wings in. And this is why so many opportunities are born from this kind of like dark night of the soul, this deep questioning, things not hitting the right way. And so this particular week is going to be like, thanks so much for doing that inner work and saying yes, because this conduit and this expansion is about what you are ready to receive. It is going to really highlight the invisible work that maybe you've been doing for the last year and really open the doors to that level of wealth. A lot of times we think that our manifestations are actually occurring because, we're doing something, but in reality, those actions are just giving you permission to receive a result that's actually already yours. And one of the big things that I always ask my client is, how easy can we make this? Like, how easy can we make this? How easy can we make the strategy? How easy can we make the steps? How easy can we make this on ourselves? And constantly, as a scaling entrepreneur, that is something that I'm consistently looking at, because as you scale, as you learn to hold more capacity, you're also learning how to receive more, not necessarily by always doing less, but making sure that you have the capacity to hold that level of wealth, responsibility, visibility, whatever it is. So this week is really powerful in the sense that there is a culmination at the beginning of this week, something for you to anchor. And I would love for you to work with this, which is one, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So Venus, planet of love, you know, money, abundance, prosperity, sensuality, like all of those things in Cancer is this archetype of the mother. It is how to nurture oneself and nurture one's dreams, not because it's something that we do overnight, but it's something that we have been nurturing in our inside of ourselves for some time. Jupiter in Cancer is actually exalted. And so this is about bringing up the deeper emotional acuity that you need in order to allow yourself to receive from that state of your knowing. So a lot of times that what I see in entrepreneurs is a deep lack or block to visibility or feeling deserving or worthy or any of those things. And those things are running like in the background as we're trying to scale our businesses and people are knocking their head against the wall like, why is it not working? Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Probably because you're burning yourself out, probably because you're validating yourself in numbers that you have no control over, probably because you're tying yourself up and contorting yourself into a position that is not suitable for yourself or your health. And so long term, like long story short, is that this particular transit is incredible for rewiring what it means to receive what you want. Does it mean that I have to negotiate my power? Does it mean that I have to give up something? Like when I think about the ways that we psychologically cap ourselves and our success. So please take the cap off this week. Please take your beliefs off of what is possible. Think about what is the greatest feeling of expansion that I can hold in my body and what is the action or easiest piece of that feeling and how does it move from me? When we have this conjunction, for ritual, you basically, because Cancer also rules the moon, it is about what you believe, your subconscious beliefs, how you hold yourself, what you believe you deserve, which is so powerful, right? The moon is always reflecting back to us exactly what we need to see within ourselves. And so when we come into this conjunction on Tuesday, it also is an auspicious time to recognize like where you haven't been nurturing yourself and where it's time to shift that particular aspect.
Legacy builders understand divine timing. While others manifest randomly, you'll know which cosmic windows amplify intentions by 10x. 2026 Ritual Planner, every cosmic money window, eclipse portals, Venus transits, lunar cycles, mapped with manifestation rituals. Same cosmic timing I've used for seven-figure spiritual entrepreneurs. 2026 cosmic windows won't repeat for another 12 plus years. Miss now, wait until 2038. The complete manifestation calendar is only $37. Spiritual entrepreneurs don't leave timing to chance.
When you work with ritual, you need to have some form of elemental of water. You probably want to have some form of elemental of moon ruled herbs. You probably want to work with things that are going to be more about attraction energetics versus I need to go and do something. Now, remember, we had the Uranus Cazimi a little while ago. We're right in the middle of Gemini season. There's a lot of momentum as we're building to solstice. And another thing I want to point out is that the new moon is actually at the end of the week. So there's this beautiful, auspicious moment. We move through a dark moon phase and then we initiate a new gem in I, wherever Gemini rules in your chart. So you are initiating a new cycle, a new way of being. Maybe there's a celebration that is coming. Maybe there is a miracle that is coming. Maybe there is something that you've been praying, hoping, searching for that is coming. How can we allow for ourselves to be fully prepared? Are you showing the universe that you are ready for this thing to show up right now? And oftentimes I always say to my clients, like if I wove a magic wand or snapped my fingers and the very thing that you were trying to create came into form in this moment, are you fully prepared to receive it? And if you say no in any way, shape, or form, if you feel contraction in your body in any way, shape, or form, I want you to clear that because that's the thing that's actually keeping you from creating the success and visibility that you want. We don't need to negotiate our power. We just need to allow for ourselves to say yes and move towards the things that are calling us. Usually the solutions are right in front of us to create more wealth. Usually the solutions are right there in the grip of our hands, but oftentimes we are so blindsided by our own intellect or the stress of just being in this world that we actually don't don't see the tools that are already in our hands. So, what is an idea? What is a conversation? What is an initiation piece that is coming to you right now for you to receive this wealth? And maybe it's different than what you expected. That's what I hear very strongly. It's probably going to be different than what you expected. It might even be better than what you thought. And be open to where the universe wants to take you. That's another thing about Cancer is that Cancer is the artist, right? It's the mother of the cosmos. It's this beautiful water sign ruled by the moon. You're not like really predicting something. You're not forcing something. You're saying, whatever my highest, most optimal path is, I'll align with that. And sometimes those highest, most optimal path came with a dissolution before, came with a questioning before, came with our ability to kind of move and listen and pivot to receive what that next level of wealth is. So when this particular aspect comes, please work with some water. Please make a ritual bath, or at least make some ritual water that you can pour over you. Please tune into the frequency or energy that the universe is wanting to bestow upon you. Maybe there is something greater for you than what you've been doing, like that, golden cage that I talked about earlier. But maybe there's something even better for you that's easier. And that's why it's so important that on this day, you are listening to what these breakthroughs want to give you, because it can be easier. So, as we culminate with the new moon on Sunday, June 14th, this is an opportunity. The new moon in Gemini really is synonymous with one, bringing a new initiation or energy inside of your chart where the house that Gemini rules. So, what I'm hearing is, Gemini is the ruler of as within, so without, as above, so below. And it's a reflection. This is the time of reflection, right? Of when we're able to dance with duality, and shadow and light are one and the same. There is no greater sacred type of reflection than that dance of duality. But we know that the dance of duality is just mirroring back to us exactly what we need to receive. So under this particular new moon, you're going to want to think about, what is the gem in I? What is that gem within me I have yet to recognize? How can I see myself so that other people might see me? How can I give and see myself as wealthy, as vibrant, as healthy, as wise, so that that is an external reflection in my world? And I want you to take one thing under this new moon that doesn't feel like it's reflecting the way that you feel inside, or vice versa. Like maybe something's reflecting outside, but it's not translating to something inside. And I want you to bring that up, because mirror work is so powerful under this new moon and anything to do with Gemini. And I want you to think about, where is the lack of congruency in this space? Am I continuing to ask people to see me, but I don't see myself? Am I continuing asked to create wealth, but I don't see myself already as wealthy? Am I continuing asking for permission when I actually need to give myself the opportunity to take my foot off the brake pedal? Where can I stop chasing and looking outside of me, which is what the shadow of Gemini represents, everyone else's opinions, everyone else's thoughts, the comparison model, and actually, how can I reframe that from the inside out? Because once you turn that mirror or that structure or that reflection back inside under this particular new moon, you're actually going to be something that is really powerful for attraction energetics. Because if you see yourself as the result that you actually already want, there's literally nothing that can stop you. If you already saw yourself as wealthy in knowledge or wisdom or, whatever it is, the next things are going to be popping too. So I want to ask you, where is there a lack in congruency for you between maybe even what your mind is saying and what your heart wants? Is there a lack of congruency in the way that you're taking action and where you want to go? Is there a lack of congruency in who you're surrounding yourself with and the rooms that you are ready for? You have to put yourself there. That's one of the biggest things with any level of success, is that The universe can give us all of the actions, it can give us all the downloads, it can give us all the things, but until you fulfill that 50-50 contract, that essence of duality, that essence of as within, so without, as above, so below, until you are fully a reflection of that, it will not manifest. So I want you to have a clear conversation and ask yourself, what do I need to bring in congruency this week? What do I need to allow myself to receive in this moment? And how can I let this be my next golden story or golden thread that I tell in like a year or 2 years, that was that pivotal point in which I was at 1 degree away from that shift, and then everything expanded for me. Because we are going to be gearing up for some really powerful transits. I'm just going to leave you on a cliffhanger here. I was going to say hook hanger, but that's not, I don't think that's what the whole thing. The cliffhanger right now is that we actually have Chiron. We're going to be having Chiron move into Taurus. We're also going to be having, Chiron moving into Taurus on the 19th of June. We also have Jupiter moving into Leo on the 29th with the Capricorn full moon and Mercury retrograde. So we have some spicy energy coming up, but Jupiter in Leo, that's going to be some incredible astrology to be seen, to move toward those passions. And I'll be dropping some more insights in the coming weeks on how to best use those transits.
That's today's spiritual guidance from the seventh dimension. Ready for live transmissions and daily drops on the current transits specifically for you? I've got you. Join my private Telegram channel via the link in the show notes. Remember, trust what you're feeling. Your true identity is already built. Just say yes.